Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Contingency Plan Podcast. My name is Jedi Master David, and with me, as always, is Darth Austin.
Hello, everyone.
We've been bad boys.
What?
Bad boys. Not recording and releasing podcasts on a weekly basis.
I don't even remember. Was it? I was moving. That's the reason it was moving.
Well,
No. Well, it was moving related. It was water damage to my house.
Yeah.
Yes. Fun.
Yeah, man. Always something, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just glad I caught it when I did, and the only reason I did was a wet spot on my concrete pad.
Oh boy. It really got that bad, huh?
Well, it was probably multiple days. It was like in the perfect spot where it comes up into the sink in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's hitting both below and above it.
Oh boy.
Perfectly. So good times. Man. Good times.
Man,
Gotta love shark bites. Shark bites save everybody's day at some point in their life.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, moving's never fun anyway, but then when you have to deal with that kind of crap, it's just compounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I'm fairly minimalistic and I don't have a lot to move. That's the only saving grace for all of this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it becomes way more difficult when you have a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
It's surprising how much junk that you accumulate over time.
Yeah, and how much of it is something you can't even like reconcile why you bought it at the time.
Yep.
It just showed up because clearly I wouldn't have bought something like that.
Yeah. That's what spring cleaning's for, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, the big spring cleaning event around us is right when we're going on vacation, so I did miss out on that, but well worth it. Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
If I could just get Dad to do it for me.
He won't.
He won't.
So anyway, folks, we're back again, going through Mandalorian as slowly as humanly possible. We are episode 4, which is chapter 20, the Foundling.
Yeah, we're kind of going at the old Vector Prime pace.
Well, I mean, it's been time, especially at the beginning of the year was a bit of a premium. So a lot of our schedule was just really knocked about. We're missing stuff left and right, and all this stuff. Before we know it, like Kenobi will be out. We'll just be all pissed off all the time. I can't talk about anything right.
Yeah, I know you're missing out on going over the children's tales and visions too and all that right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some stuff about the Tales series, but we'll obviously get to that once we get a little further in. But yeah, man, I mean, it's difficult because there is a lot of stuff that came out pretty quickly, and when you're not on the ball, it's pretty hard to keep up.
Well, plus both of us moving and just kind of life getting crazy. Definitely looking forward to a moment to breathe. Yeah. Would like that to be before winter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got a lot to do, but a lot of stuff to cover. So yeah, anyway, how's your week been? I guess, well, in lieu of, bitching about stuff like we did the past couple weeks, how's your week been?
Well, it just keeps getting better. No, so the water damage was something I dealt with last week, so that's not something I can complain about. That's not fair. No, just the ongoing fun of getting into managing people. I now have to go through the fun process of getting someone fired and documenting things for about 3 weeks before I can do it.
Yep.
Yeah, not a fun time. Not a fun time at work, but other than work, things have been good. Getting ready for a nice Memorial Day weekend, 4 days off. Probably gonna go see the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Obviously, we're doing Bourbon Trail and everything. So that'll be a nice refresher.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. I mean, people managing can be hard. Obviously, it's what I've been doing for a while. And I mean, I just recently had a conversation with somebody who legitimately just gave up, and I straight up was like, "So you've pretty much just given up, right?"
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
better with people like that. This guy's in denial that he's not
oh no, this
lazy.
person was in denial too. I mean, for the most part,
Oh, really?
you know, generally the way it goes is blame it on anything else but your own effort. Get angry because things aren't moving the way they want. Um, yeah, and then going on leave.
Yeah. That's always a good sign when you start calling off or, random days off and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of people who've went on leave, as they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And they think that when they come back, everything's just okay. It's like, no,
Like you've forgotten about the problem.
Yeah, situation's still going on. I mean, it's the same thing we're dealing with here. You're just a month or two later.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. I mean, I understand, like, there are people that need to take leave periodically for this, that, and the other. No big deal. But, there's a lot of abuse of that system. And, sometimes people just use it to buy time.
Yeah.
Eventually,
for sure.
eventually
or
the
take
Reaper
the time
comes
to find
calling.
another job,
Yeah,
which is probably what's happening.
Yeah, but I mean, it's difficult, as you know. Just there are a lot of jobs out there, but there are also, when people, there's a lot of jobs out there. There are.
Yeah.
But they're not always the higher paying jobs that people want.
Yeah. And that's what I'm running into. I mean, I've got a lot of people that have high expectations of where they'd start, and they're all disappointed at where they're at. It's like, well, you think I started where I'm at? You have to earn it. You got to work.
Yep.
It's not one of those situations where, as a manager, I started in management and I don't know what it's like to go through the daily slog of the boring jobs and everything. Yeah, it sucks, but get over it. It's work.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a bit of entitlement out there with some people who think that, because they have a college degree, they should jump ahead of the line, or, people who have been in the same industry who feel that their length of time should entitle them to something despite the fact that they never really grew any within their role. That's a big problem I see a lot.
Well, going into bigger companies like what you're in or what I'm in, regardless of like your time in the industry, there's also a huge culture change you need to learn per industry, because like we have a big obsession with our culture. We try to instill that in our people. I'm sure your job does too.
Right.
And that's starting over, from one place to another. So
yeah,
there's always something to learn. You can't assume that you're ready to start in the role.
Right. Well, my business definitely values people who move around a bit and have seen multiple parts of the line of business overall than the people who've maybe spent 10 years in one line of business. It's like, yeah, we understand you're probably a big deal there, but like, do you know this? Do you know this?
Right.
It's been constantly preached, every 3 years you should be bouncing around because you're not loyal to the department, you're loyal to the company.
Right.
So you've had, say 10 years in the company, but
shouldn't be in the same place.
Right. But where this person had 10 years in one place, this person had, 3 years here, 2 years here, 3 years here, and whatever. And because of that breadth of knowledge, it's oftentimes more valuable. But like even the college thing, I didn't finish college. You didn't really go to college. You've taken coursework and so forth. But, it doesn't really take college to get a good job.
No, it takes a little bit of effort more than anything.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
And I remember somebody saying, one of the reasons that college was a good thing was to show that, for 4 years you were committed
Stick to something.
Yeah, you were committed to one thing, and that's valid.
It is.
But it doesn't mean.
But it's also countercultural to how we are acting as employees now.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't mean that you know anything, because you don't. You've stuck with something great, but it doesn't mean that you know anything.
It means you can be trained without giving up.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yes.
But I've seen college graduates fail out of a lot of different things that, people with no advanced education excel at, in a lot of different industries. So it's a mixed bag. Sometimes college is really good for people, and sometimes it's useless.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough out there. But I've heard every excuse, every whatever somebody wants to say over the years, and it's just kind of like, just do the job, man.
For it. Yeah.
I mean, I have people who work over a standard 40 to get the job that we need done so that they're hitting their goals. And then we got other people that clock off, right at time, and then they wonder why they haven't met their goal. It's like, what am I doing wrong? It's like, well, maybe you have to put more time in. Maybe you do.
Or manage your time better.
Or manage your time better.
Stick to your 40, bust bud within that 40.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had one person say, "Well, I don't understand how anybody else in this department hits their goals." It's like, they work. Maybe they have to put in a little extra time. They've streamlined the way they're doing it. You have to look at you, not them. Look at you, and why? What do I need to change? Not worry about what they're doing wrong or right.
Right.
It's all a personal thing. It's a 1-for-1. You worry about you and let the rest of the chips fall as they will.
And it's interesting you bring that up, because like, out of the 5 people that I manage at the moment, which hopefully it stays there for a while, because they're a lot to manage as it is. The 2 that haven't come to me to ask how to better themselves or how to get ahead are the 2 that are probably my best employees, and the 3 that have come to me and asked, how do they improve? How do they move on? All that. I give them advice. I give them the same advice. I don't set them against each other, but I say, 1, make sure that you're always staying busy. You're always improving. You're always in the eye of all the management around, the hardest worker in the room. And, big thing with our culture is to replace yourself. That's, we can't come up in rank without pulling someone up with us to replace us. Otherwise, we kind of hurt the company. It's fine culture. I get it. And I've explained that to all of them. And basically what I'm telling them is, hey, I'm looking at you and considering you for a role in management a year or 2 from now. You just have to show your worth to me. And those are the ones that crash and burn.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And
they're too obsessed with the next step,
right,
instead of what they're doing in the moment.
And I guarantee that there are people out there that don't like to hear that.
I'm sure that if we had comments, there'd be a comment section saying, well, you're just one of those crappy managers and you're just stepping on the little guy or something like that.
Well, it's either that or, you're so entitled. But, I've spent, close to, well, I mean, with this company, I've been there 10 years, so I've been there a decade. I've managed for probably over close to, let's say a decade, because not all my stuff in this company was managing. When I went in, right, I was on the phones. I was at the very bottom of the rung making $27,000. And then continually working my way up and moving departments, and this is my 4th department. So I've made 4 department changes in 10 years for the same company. But I managed outside of the company too, and in other stuff. And it's a work. You have to continue to work your way up and come up and figure out what your next steps are. But at the same token, don't lose, like you said, don't lose sight of what you're doing now. And my whole thing is, I'm here to try and get you to your next challenge, whatever that might be. Your next challenge might not be what you think it is. It might not be getting a management role or a, like a business analyst role or something like that, or a project manager or something, your goal might just be, your challenge might just be hitting your production goal or hitting what you're doing right now, making sure all your metrics are tight. People don't always want to hear that. Some do, some don't. But yeah, I mean, that's why you have your high performing talent. You got your core people, and you got your low performers, and you got to sort of try and reach them all in a similar way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've bored everyone with corporate America, this is ironic to say that I'm in corporate America, but I am kind of in a way, even though I'm in construction, because it's very corporatized the way that they structure everything.
Well, where do you make money, man? If you want to continue to make the money,
we're working for Google. We are essentially corporate America.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Anyway, Star Wars.
Star Wars. I did look at the news section. There isn't a lot going around right now, other than like a old Leia dress going for like $2 million on auction. Supposedly a lost bloody dress.
Ooh, sick, man.
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah, and then that Natalie Portman's interested in revising her role, but hasn't been asked to. So, not much in news, and I don't think we need a live action version of the Queen series. So,
oh God, yeah, what a.
You couldn't do that. There's too much inner monologue. That would be the worst movie ever.
Here's the thing. You could, but it would be a landmine because, I mean, we kind of talked about it when we were doing the reviews because I liked the first one. The first one was easily, I think, the best one. It's been a long time since we've read those. The other two were fine. The first one was definitely the best. But the issue you're going to run into in the culture war of today is, there was a lot of like representation stuff in the book. Not a huge deal, at least in the beginning, but I guarantee that if you were to make a movie or a show about that, people would instantly come out, oh, why are you beating us over the head with the LGBTQ and all this stuff? Because it's part of it. There were several like lesbian couplings in there and whatnot. And, while I think the substance of the story was good, that's exactly what people are going to go on about if they were ever to make that, because they would. Whoever directs it, whoever show runs it, is going to want to make it that representation fest. And as you know,
which is a shame, because like those are characters that are beyond that portion of their life. Very good, interesting characters. Like they would be the characters worth writing about, not just, okay, we need to make a character that fits this mold, and then that's all we're going to do to write them. Those characters were awesome. I would love to see them.
Well, and that's the issue, though. It's not the representation. The issue is that there are a lot of writers and directors and people in Hollywood now that think representation is the story, and they forget to write the story well.
Yeah.
That's the only gripe. It's like neither of us have any...
Well, they're not three-dimensional characters.
Yeah. I mean, neither of us have anything against any of that stuff, because it's like, it's fine. I mean, who cares? But like, you actually have to... No, you have to prop it up with like a good story in order to make it impactful.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't fly. I mean, my God, nobody's drinking Bud Light right now due to all that BS. That's all it is. It's a bunch of BS. None of that stuff matters. People get mad over stuff and blah, 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 blah. But that's what it is, and then you're on your way to screwing yourself over. You got 3 movies that are eventually going to come out,
Yeah.
They're looking for billions, man, not a couple, 100,000s, they're looking for the big shots right now. So,
yeah. And you got to wonder at some point they're going to get burnt out with TV, and they're going to step back from that. And I think we'll have a little renaissance of books again before we hit the movies. I would hope at least. Maybe by the second movie.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There'll be some accompanying books, I would have to assume. I do think we need a new crop of writers, not just the same ones we've been kind of hearing from for a while. And no offense, because like some of them are good.
It's not bad, but it is stale.
Well, High Republic,
one writing style.
I mean, High Republic got stale quick. It didn't really hold the attention that I think they thought it would. And you have good writers in it. It just, well, what was it? The one where the stupid Starlight Beacon falls out of orbit. Which one was that called?
Yeah, that was
Skyfall.
Keep thinking Skyfall or Station Break. Neither of
it's not either of those.
Race to
Starlight
Beacon.
No,
was that the accompanying one?
No, that's not it. It doesn't matter. But anyway, that book was terrible, and that was
Race
Claudia
to Disaster.
No, that was a different one.
I think that was it. I'm gonna look it up while you talk.
Okay, you do that. No, but the whole, it was such a premiseless book. It was like one idea and nothing of substance, and it's like, you know, Claudia Gray has written some fantastic books, and that one was such a flop. And that was around the time when we stopped reading the High Republic stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, which sucks, but I mean it's just where we were at.
Still can't find it, can you?
Crash Point Tower. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Race to Crash Point Tower.
No, that's the kid.
That's the one I was thinking.
There's a kid.
I know
book,
that's the one I was thinking of, though. This is not all the books. This is a terrible list.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm sure it'll pop in our heads later. But Fallen Star.
Yeah, Fallen Star.
See, I told you it would come.
Why didn't you just say that?
It just popped into my head.
Falling Race to Crash Point Star Mountain. There we go. That's the name of the book.
Oh my goodness. Okay. But yeah, some good books would be nice. A new crop of writers just to freshen things up would be nice. Preferably an axing of any of this like 200 chapter comic book style multi POV of the same event crap. No offense,
and
I hated
all
that
the
so much.
All the reminders. Hey, in case you couldn't remember what happened 3 chapters ago, because we're assuming you're reading this, you know, maybe a chapter a week.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't good. And they nerfed all the characters. But anyway, that's that. But yeah,
yes, character suicide.
Yeah,
in every book.
It really was. It really was. So anyway, there's that, and we'll kind of see what comes of it. But anyway, let's hit Mando here. So episode 4, chapter 20, the Foundling.
The easily shortest episode.
It was. It really was. And they do this though. Yeah. They do this every so often where it's just you get this short episode and you're kind of like, what the hell was that about?
Yeah. Although I will say, watching it, I didn't look at the timestamp. Felt like a full story. Didn't feel extremely rushed. It's just, you know, loading it up for this, I realized, wow, is that short? Interesting.
Yeah.
It's no fluff in this one.
No, not at all. Oh, that's funny. So I was just Googling to go ahead and get the IMDb result. So if you just put like the Mandalorian in there, in the bottom right corner of the browser is little Grogu. Oh my God, he makes things shake.
Really?
He made the cast list shake and go around. Oh, that's fun. Google does some fun stuff every now and again. Oh my God, he's doing it to I just keep pushing it. He's just destroying the page. This is fun. I am keep going, Grogu. Oh my, he's just doing it all.
Oh, this is
you're doing it now too, yes. Aren't you? So
he's throwing away the cast list. This is awesome.
He's just doing everything. He's literally just going down the list of stuff. He's breaking. I'm just gonna keep going as we roll through this episode and see how far he goes. Anyway, so yeah, short episode. Again, I mean, I would not say a ton of substance either. If we're being fair, not.
Hey, by the way, scroll up and all of the broken pages will continue to roll up with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. He's just still going as he he's destroying Disney Plus. Yes, Grogu, destroy Disney Plus. Anyway.
we just renewed our subscription. No.
Oh my God, he's destroying the top stories. Anyway, so we open up on our sort of Mando planet. We have a training montage, which is super, super sick. Did you enjoy the montage?
Pretty awesome. Needed some awesome 90s rock or maybe some 80s rock accompanying it.
Yeah. But so Din Djarin is basically wanting Grogu to train with one of the Mandalorian younglings. And to be honest, I did kind of think that this was funny. They have like paintball launchers.
Yes.
Pick your weapon.
They are darts. Let's get it straight.
They're
By the way,
paintballs.
we have these crab things that he picks up.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't pay a lot of attention to it, but just jumping ahead a little bit, the final artwork for the crabs is freaking awesome. I don't know if you saw that or not in the credits.
No, I didn't see it. Oh, okay. So I'm still playing with Grogu here. So he's gone down the page quite a bit, but unfortunately some of the panels go away, so it just doesn't like.
Aww.
Yeah, so it's like 5 panels at a time. He's basically just playing Tetris right now. It's fun. It's fun stuff. Anyway, so back. Oh, he might build a tower. Oh, he's building a tower. Okay. Anyway, so we have the showdown where Grogu just gets completely dusted here.
Yeah. His force powers are better on Google than they are in the show.
More
consistent.
Yeah, I enjoy how just dumb he was at this point.
Yeah.
He's just like he just takes the hit and then Din's kind of like, "Oh, come on, Grogu, like you can do it. You're a good little boy.
Stop embarrassing me, son."
Yeah. And then he does some flippy twisties and shoots Mando Boy 3 times.
Yeah, which by the way, doesn't that just kind of seem like he's breaking the rules? Because like Mando Boy had to do one at a time, and then it was like, okay, go. And Grogu's like, no, just gonna hit you 3 times.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I reached the end of the Grogu game. He destroyed everything on the page. So that was fun.
How much of it actually stayed on page?
Oh, the tile. I don't know. It wasn't that. It was like 6. So anyway. Okay, let's move on. So
I have 7.
Well, there you go. You're just special. Anyway.
Oh, and my computer crashed.
Yep. And there we go. That's the Force. So little Mando Boy gets taken by Desert Dragon.
Drogon. Got taken by Drogon.
Okay. And this was kind of interesting, and I'll bring this up later on in the series, hopefully if I remember it. But we have the chase where the Mandalorians are jetpacking towards this dragon, and they all run out
space fuel.
Yeah, they run out of juice. And there's a particular scene towards the end that I'll have to bring this back up because it's like 90s action movies, how they never run out of bullets until that one scene where it's like, did I fire 5 or 6? Are you feeling lucky, punk? Yeah. Do you feel lucky?
I could just see someone dubbing over this entire scene. And it's like, ran out of fuel. One of the guys in the background is like, what's fuel?
What's fuel? Anyway, and then in comes Bo with her ship to track the dragon to where his little dragon lair is. Or is this like a pterodactyl? Maybe it's more of a pterodactyl thing.
No, it's like the New Year's special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with Eon the bird. It's just Eon the bird.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the kid's gone, and Armor's not too concerned. She's just gonna make some armor for Grogu.
Yeah. It's like, here's a sweet chest piece that will probably maybe somewhat protect you.
It's like,
but will not fit into any other armor I make you in the future, so we'll probably have to get rid of it.
It's like, wow.
Why not? Why is this better than the chainmail?
Yeah.
The chainmail seems so much better.
It's like,
Give
wow, this was pretty sick. Well, anyway, that kid's gone. Hey, you want some armor?
Just give him just make him a freaking helmet. I mean, come on, that's what everyone wants.
Well, either a helmet or like some shoulder guards
some
or
pauldrons or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. It could have been anything, but yeah, so we just get a chest piece, but while we are making the armor, we get flashbacks. Woo!
Yeah, which is like a third of the show.
Yeah, for those who wanted Jedi stuff, boy oh boy, did you get Jedi stuff.
Yeah, with no repeats whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, we kind of show a little bit more of Grogu escaping the Jedi Temple, because there was a lot of debate about this. It's like, who actually got Grogu out of the temple? Was it Mace Windu? Any of that stuff?
Yeah, and all this scene made me interested in is this Jedi and not what happened to Grogu. Because this guy's awesome.
Well, Ahmed Best makes his return. Darth Jar Jar saved Grogu.
Yes. It's awesome. I love it.
In actuality, Jedi Master Kelleran Beck is his name. He does some pretty cool dual saber wielding, and where all 4 Jedi couldn't take down a couple of stormtroopers, Kelleran Beck can take down all the troopers.
Yeah.
It's those laws of diminishing returns. It's like
what it is, hey, that role that sucked? We're gonna give you a better role this time. Trust us.
And I think that's very true. We've talked about it before, but Ahmed Best had a terrible time after, the prequels and playing Jar Jar, and just the hate he got was insane. And Celebration 2019, when we were in Chicago, he did an appearance and people gave him a standing ovation. They really wanted to make him feel welcome again. And I think it's important because, as much as people might have hated Jar Jar, it was for the kids, man. I mean, it was like this goofy clown character, and he just so happened to be the mocap. And funny enough, another thing, I watched a short at one point where George Lucas was being interviewed, and he was basically like, he wanted a mocap guy. They were just gonna CGI in everything, and he was like, "Nah, we already got this guy, and we're just gonna use him." And he was just so natural with it. So it was cool to see him kind of come in here and be a little bit of a BA. Oh, by the way, did you notice that he flew past that rock that was in our last episode with our doctor who tried to touch it?
Yep.
but yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. I think there were some mixed opinions to it, though.
I'd be interested how many people didn't even realize it was him, to be honest.
That's probably fair. But anyway, excuse me. So Beck gets Grogu to a landing pad where we have some people of Naboo. So from the Queen's home planet, coming through here and trying to be helpful, which I kind of like.
Which they are, because they kind of demolish us clone troopers a little bit with their little pistols. It's awesome.
Unfortunately, all of them are dead, but
yes, very dead, very dead. But they took a lot with them, so it's okay.
They certainly did. But no, I thought it was kind of cool to see the little nod to the Naboo here, because you got to think about it. Naboo is it's the home planet of the Chancellor, who's now Palpatine, and everything's going crazy, but they still have loyalty to the Jedi and to what their former queen and then senator stood for. So I actually kind of thought that was a fun little piece there.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great flashback. So I'm excited to see what happens next after that.
Right. So Grogu gets his little chest piece that he can attach to his chainmail, because you got to have more protection. Even though I assume that chainmail is probably fine. but hey, whatever.
Now it's extra fine.
Yeah, it's extra fine. And now we pick back up with our Mandalorian raiding party, led by Bo-Katan, who is going after this kid who's clearly not dead yet, even though, I mean, like, you would think
it should be it absolutely should be completely dead.
Just eat it. It's
so
fine,
very dead,
man. Well, then we get a little campfire pork and beans, you know? This is pretty sick.
Little tutorial on how to eat without people seeing you and potential indoctrination. It's awesome.
Press A.
Love it.
Press A to remove your helmet. Wait for nobody to be around. No, you can't take your helmet off at this time. There are people still too close. Press B to
the
eat
Mandalorians
beans.
will remember that.
Oh my god.
Or even better yet, hit the button. No, this is not the way.
Oh my god. Your speech is increased. God. That was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Wherever that goes. It's been a minute since I played that.
So anyway, we get over that, and then we start to climb this mountain because we don't want to startle the creature, so we're not going to use our jetpacks.
That are out of fuel anyway, but cool.
Yeah, they got more fuel. It's fine. Yeah. And then we reach the nest where there are babies. Sick.
Yeah.
And then the mom comes back and like, oh geez, oh no, let's beat him up.
Yes, and we'll regurgitate the kid who is still somehow unscathed.
Yeah, kid's fine for some reason. I guess the babies just weren't quite hungry yet.
This kid got crushed multiple times and also probably bitten in half in this episode. I'm just calling BS.
Yeah, I would say so. But anyway, we do wind up taking down the creature, sort of. We're not able to really incapacitate it. We just kind of crash it into the water where it's eaten by another creature. There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah.
So...
creature designs were cool, I will give you that.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
For that. Not as cool as our massive crocodile, but pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the hunting party comes back triumphant. Everybody's, cheering them on, being super cool. And, hey, we brought these birds.
Did we know that this was Paz Vizsla's son before this, by the way?
I don't think so.
I don't think it was in the other episode where he's being initiated. So that was kind of a cool little revelation.
Yeah, I would agree. And then, I guess as we're sort of getting towards the end here, we did have a part where Bo loses one of her pieces of armor, and the armor is, as a thank you, makes her new one, and is like, you want your cool little owl on it? No. Can I just have that mythosaur over there? That's pretty sick. Sure, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, and the armor is like, it's not cultural appropriation, so why not?
You're one of us. It's not cultural appropriation. So anyway, she gets a new piece of armor forged, and that's pretty much the end of the episode.
Just gotta imagine, like, in this scene, if it was dubbed over, it'd just be Bo going like, God, this is extremely boring to watch her make this.
This helmet's pretty hot. I don't really stay in this thing this often. I mean, I need to install AC in there. How do these people get over this? How do they even get enough water? I mean, this is like making me sweat. I need to drink water, but I can't remove my helmet because, like, this is the way or something.
And just someone in the background, electrolyte packets.
Anyway, that's the episode.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
We've got our... I love how the armor is just like, maybe you saw the mythosaur, maybe you didn't, maybe it's the way, maybe it's a vision. I don't know, maybe you should join us.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's something to this, or maybe not. Maybe you should join our club. Maybe once you reach the 3rd level and see the Thetans, then, you'll be able to, like, see the mythosaur, which is our Lord and Savior mythosaur.
But that's 100,000 credits.
Good old South Park exposing Scientology. Goodness.
Yeah.
We just lost our one Scientology listener. I'm sorry, guys.
We did.
That's sad.
We did. It was Chef. Chef was watching.
Now, damn it, children, why are you making fun of my religion, too? I was going to send you up some chocolate salty balls.
It's going to give you about tree fitting.
Ah, boy. Okay. So that's
and then
the
about that moment, the Mythosaur showed up. He said, "Hey, I need about tree fitting."
Well, I gave about 250. Oh, that's why it keeps coming around. You can't give me a monster no 250 or 350. Oh God, those were funny episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's go on to the rating. So, what are you rating the episode, and
about
why?
Tree fitting.
About tree fitting. And just with this in mind, currently on IMDb with 14,000 ratings, they have it at a 7.7.
14,000 people did not rate this. I don't believe it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make this short and sweet, just like the episode. It was fine. It was filler. I saw no real issues with it except for the goofy running out of fuel thing. 7.5. I liked it.
Yeah,
not a lot to say.
Fair enough. I mean, it was what it was. It was short. It was, it was a kind of a filler episode. It didn't have anything really crazy in it. It looked good. It had some action in it, I guess. But you're setting up for later. And I mean, I think a 7.5 is fairly realistic. Maybe 7.6 on a good day, but
yep, right in that good range.
Yeah, it was good. Not great, not a great episode, but nothing to really scoff at. I think that most people might agree with that particular rating, but at least I think people would rate this one higher than the last episode, which is currently carrying a 7.
Ooh. Has it gone down since the review?
I feel like it has. I feel like it has gone down a little bit more.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what we're looking at, and we are gonna keep chugging along as we go, and get into more episodes as we can. But I mean, anything else we need to talk about here? Or are we ready to move out?
I think we're good.
Sick. All right, y'all. Well, if you enjoyed the episode or have something to say, or just blah 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 blah, hit us up at TC Plan Podcast, Twitter, Facebook, all that good sort of jazz. You can send us an email to tcplanpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what your thoughts were on the show. I know we're obviously very behind, but you can still let us know what you thought about it. And if there's any sort of like theories or any of that kind of stuff you think would be good for us to talk about, send that in as well. We'd be more than happy to at least consider it before we utterly say, oh, hell no.
Yeah. We are not going to do any of that, though. No,
we might. But anyway, I think that is all we've got. So I will say y'all have a great Dang, I can't even talk. I can't. We can't leave yet until I get this right.
Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Have a great rest of your week, everyone.
And as always, may the Force be with you.